Hello, Steve Mills here. Welcome. Thank you ever so much for your time in being here. I really appreciate it. I really do. I know you're busy like everybody is. I know there are things that you could or even should be doing right now, but you taken the time to spend 15 minutes with me, and I really appreciate that. Today, just to let you know, we're going live on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. We're also streaming on my podcast. So we're live on iTunes and Amazon Music and about 30 other streaming sites. So altogether, we're being watched by or listened to by between 7,000 and 8,000 people. So, I just think that's so cool, isn't it? The fact that we can do that. When I say we, I mean you as well. There's no reason why you couldn't do exactly what I'm doing. Perhaps that could be another Results Mastery Live session talking about Results Mastery Live, maybe. Who knows? But anyway, thank you for being here. Today's subject is why you need I don't know whether you'd call them a coach, an advisor, a business advisor, a business growth advisor. What else have I got down here? A mentor, a consultant, but I really don't give a rat's ass what you call people, really. A helper, somebody who's going to help and guide and help you to raise your game, which is really what we're talking about here. So no matter what you call them, you need one, in my opinion. Let me just, obviously the world of coaching and advisings, really, in the last 28 years since I've been doing this has changed a lot. And it's really grown, to be honest. There's a lot more, coaches out there now than there was probably even 5 years ago. And the truth of the matter is, where did that all come from? Well, it probably came from sport, didn't it? Many of you that know me will know that back years ago, I used to be a professional sportsman. I spent 10 years playing table tennis for a living. I was ranked in the top 10 players in England. Beat several of the top leading world-class players, played over in Germany in the Bundesliga, and as well as, getting myself as high as number 6. So, in sport, it's almost like a given, why would you not have a coach? Why would you not want somebody to help you to improve your table tennis game or your football game or your tennis game, whatever it is? You have coaches, and these days, when you're a professional, you have multiple coaches. You don't just have a coach who's a generalist. You have a coach who's helps you on the psychological side of sport. You have someone else who's a tactician. You might have a third person who's helping you with your fitness and your flexibility, and so on and so forth. I always remember one of my favorite tennis players of all time was a guy called Ivan Lendl, and he took the game of tennis and arguably sport in general to a new level of professionalism. He really looked at what he needed to do, and apparently used to travel around the world with about 20 people, everything from a dietitian to a full-time person who strung his tennis rackets exactly how he wanted them, and their job was basically in charge of all Lendl's equipment, and so on. So coaching's been around for a long time. If you think about it in business, I don't know, something about this country, I think in the UK, where we, we're a little bit reluctant to have a coach. And if you think about why you need a coach, what are the reasons behind it? Ultimately, it comes down to this, and it's because we don't know everything that we need to know. That's the truth. I know Michael Gerber in his book, The E-Myth, The Entrepreneurial Myth, says that the number one reason for business failure is what he calls operational expertise. In other words, people are experts at what the business does, from an operational point of view. So if you've got, say, for example, a HR business, then you're a HR professional. You know HR. If you've got, I don't know, if you're a life coach, then that's your expertise. If you're a fitness coach, then that's your expertise. If you're a garage mechanic, then you're good at repairing cars. That's your expertise. If you're a hairdresser, you get the idea, yeah? So that no matter what it is you do, generally speaking, most people, in fact, I'm going to say just about every small business is an expert, is really good at what they do operationally. Now, here lies the problem. They're not very good at marketing what they do. They're not very good at selling what they do. And they're not very good at managing the financial side of what they do. That's where the weaknesses are. Now, they have a coach or an advisor on the financial side, normally called an accountant, who tells them how well they did last year, which isn't a great deal of value. What they need to know, I believe anyway, is where they are now, how well they've done this month, and potentially how well it's looking like they're going to do next month and the month after and so on, so that they can make business decisions based on that. Now, if we look at the marketing side of things, things get even worse. Often they don't have any advice. Often the only advice they get is from people trying to sell them things. And often the only advice they get is from people who also don't know. They're generally speaking not got a high level of knowledge. So we need, I was going to say it's an absolute must, and I think it is, that we have somebody who can help. Now, I want to be clear, because obviously, I do business advice and coaching and so on, but I'm not here to pitch my service. That's not what today's about. If you want to work with me, give us a shout and we'll see if we can help. But other than that, that's as far as my pitch is going. What I want to do is to try and go through some of the reasons why I believe it's a good idea to have I'll call them an advisor, but you call them what you like, a coach, a mentor, a consultant, whatever. Okay, so it's a good idea, I think, if you want more money. I know that seems very obvious, but if I charge somebody, let's say £1,000, and I make them 10,000 or 20,000, it's like, why wouldn't you pay me more? Why wouldn't you pay me on a regular basis? If you can get a 10-to-1 return on investment, then it just makes perfect sense that you'd want to do more of it. And so as long as the person that you bring in is the right person and they can do that for you, then all the other reasons that I'm going to go through are almost irrelevant, other than possibly the next one. And that is, there's no point making more money if it's not profitable. So they can help you become more profitable. That's a real important one, I think, because there's an old saying in business that income is vanity, profit is sanity. And so true is that. If I help you grow your business from 100 grand to 1 million, and your costs go up from 50 grand to 1.5 million, you're not going to be overly keen, because your costs have gone up. And therefore, instead of making 50 grand, you're losing 500 grand, so profit is absolutely everything. That's the purpose of business, to make a profit. Even if you're a charity, it's to make a profit so you can do good things. To reduce waste, because we all waste things, don't we? We waste money on stuff. And that can really affect your profit, because as I said, if the purpose of a business is to make a profit, and there are only two ways of making a profit. You can reduce costs or you can increase sales. Now, you can reduce costs by 10%, 20% perhaps. You can increase sales by literally whatever you want. If you want to double, triple, quadruple your business, you can do that. Other businesses have done. So all you need to do is to know how to do that. Okay, so that's an important one. You can hire an advisor to help you to improve your return on investment. That's what I do all the time. I've spent 28 years now helping businesses to improve their return on investment. Give you a perfect example, LinkedIn. Okay, a lot of people invest a small, and I mean a small amount of time on LinkedIn. First mistake they make is they don't invest enough time. Second mistake they make is that the time that they do invest doesn't work. And so, basically they're doing a little bit of stuff that's not getting any return on investment. So we need to come up with a different plan, because if you always do what you've always done, then you'll always get what you've always got. So let's come up with a different plan, a better plan, a plan that works and produces a return on investment. My plan that I use, that I teach other people, makes me 100 grand a year on LinkedIn. So why wouldn't you want that plan? I don't know. Anyway, it's great to become more focused. Having a coach helps you to become more focused. One of the biggest problems that we all have in business is we're forever going, oh, I could do this, I could do that, and I could develop this, and we finish up with, 1,000 shiny things that we're trying to do. A good coach will help you really focus. Next one I've got down here is to clarify your thinking. A coach will advise you, clarify your thinking, get you thinking about the right things. One of the most important things that I think you can do in business is thinking. It's such an underrated, underused strategy. When was the last time you looked in your diary and you saw this section blocked off for thinking time, the time that you're going to spend thinking? If you're like 99.999% of the people that I meet, the answer's never. I'm not saying they don't ever think, they don't allocate time to sitting down and thinking. As such, they think while they're driving along or while they're doing stuff, and it just becomes a little bit ad hoc. And the last one I've got, again, really, really important, is to have a plan, to be able to sit down with somebody and write out a plan, be it online, offline. But the important thing is to have a plan, whether that's a sales plan, marketing plan, financial plan, business plan, whatever it is you need. Your coach, consultant, advisor, trainer, whatever, should be able to help you to plan things, plan the way ahead, and obviously set your goals as well. So that's it. I think I'm just about on 15 minutes. So thank you for your time. I hope that's been of value to you. I hope it's given you some food for thought, and I hope it'll help you to grow your business. But whilst I said I'm not going to pitch me on this, I am going to do a last minute pitch on coaching. Get a coach. Get one that's going to help you. Get one that's experienced. Get one that's going to make a difference to your business. Whether you use me or somebody else, I really don't mind. If you want to talk to me, great. If you don't and you'd rather work with somebody else, that's also great. But the important thing, I think anyway, is to have a coach. I've got coaches in my business. I learn from the best in the world, and I pass that information on to other people. They're all my coaches, and I have coaches under different things. So that's it. Thank you very much for listening, and I look forward to speaking to you again. Don't forget I do this every day, so join me tomorrow, and I'll speak then. Bye.